The camera caught me horror farming. The opposition is within range, and my mortar found its target. Now everybody wanna bargain. Nah, buddy gotta pay full price, so you gon' have to beg my pardon. Pardon my bag, don't understand where my heart was at. Helping niggas out, and in return it gave me heart attacks. I'm not with it, but I don't do no barking back. I'm authentic. If you ask me, ain't no heart in that. We've all witnessed.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Within Range podcast. Jared Suter, Dom Juan. The ear god is not with us today, Jared, but as we always say,
always with us in spirit.
With us in spirit. All right, so today isn't just another podcast episode, and Jared, I know we appreciate when we get to say this, but our guest today is unlike any other guest we've had on the show before.
100%.
Today, we're going to deep dive into greatness, controversy, evolution, dominance of an artist who is arguably bigger than music itself. This gentleman has more content on our favorite artists, maybe than anyone we've come across at this point. So excited to get into that. And on top of that, Jared, from what you've discovered, we're also going to be speaking with a published author.
3 times over.
3 times.
3X?
3X.
Okay. Well, let's get into it. We're going to talk about the hits, the eras, the beefs, the influence, the vulnerability, the genius marketing. And today we're going to talk about it with someone who can actually go there with us and dive further. One of the sharpest voices in music, commentary, and culture. The man behind the greatest show on earth. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Django Degree.
Oh, man. Thank you so much.
Let's go.
Thank you, man. I got to clap for you, bro.
Yes, thank you.
Couldn't have done it better for
We're
myself.
excited, man. We're excited. Very excited.
Well, Django, I think it's only appropriate. Each of us have a role in this podcast, right? I mentioned my cousin who's not here today is kind of mainly our video editor.
Mm-hmm.
He does all of our content. Jared and I are kind of the faces. And I'm usually the guy who takes the time to reach out to the guests and curate who's coming on. We got to give credit to Snoop Beastwood is his nickname here because he was the one who sent the DM originally. And we were excited when you responded back, man. So thank you for being on today.
Of course. Thank you, man. I try to answer everybody. Whenever I get a DM, I'm now capped. I got like 4,000 followers in the last 4 days, and now I'm like, I literally can't. I got so many DMs, like I feel bad. So if anyone's watching this and I haven't DM'd you back, that's on me. I'm trying, but I am stuck right now. I'm trying to do it.
We should feel honored that he answered us, Jared. I mean, that's crazy.
That was destiny that we got it in. I think I had seen, I don't know, I had followed you for a little bit, and then for my personal, and I was like, I think it was probably by the 6th or 8th video I saw where I was like, okay, because there's a bunch of people that, pro con the album project, hit the artist, whatever. But I've never heard anyone articulate the way that I've felt in here and never been able to verbalize it so concisely, but also so eloquently, and it just makes sense. And it all, you could all tie it up to like larger themes, but the way you dissected it, I was like, there's just no one else we should be talking to about this with.
Thank you, man. I gotta say, getting here is crazy because I started just making content because I just wanted to work on my thoughts and my ideas, and my post eventually turned into my first book, I Hope You Wake Up. And basically what ended up happening was from that, people started kind of following me from talking about my content. And I was like, okay, well, this is kind of dope. Like, I'll keep making it. And then I had a video blow up about the iPhone and Jean Baudrillard's like hyperrealism. And I was like, maybe I'll just keep making whatever. And then as time went on, now I'm here, but I really only ever wanted to talk about what was on my mind and be honest. Because I also feel like there's just not a lot of honesty in the industry right now, and I just want to be honest. So that's what I try to be every day.
Well, I will say, and I appreciate you explaining that, because one thing that I get from watching your content is your genuineness and your honesty. Like you can tell like you prepare a lot of what you're going to say, but I also get the sense that it's real, it's coming from the heart, and you know what you're talking about on top of that. Like it sounds, like Jared said, articulate and just very to the point.
Thank you, man.
It's not ranting and raving fandom. It's not blind seething hate. It's just like, it's like, okay, you feel a certain way. Great. It's music. It's art. It makes you feel something, but you're like, you can actually speak to why you have organized your thoughts to arrive at this conclusion. Plus the way you just enjoy it,
Yeah.
and you can tell that you're just like also a fan, but I love the way you think about it. Clearly a day one fan, if not day zero, I guess.
Facts.
Yeah, bro. I gotta say, similar to how I feel about Iceman, like the music commentary for me actually started genuinely because of Kendrick Lamar. Like during that whole beef, I had loved Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, and I'm a huge fan of A New Earth and like all of the Eckhart Tolle stuff. So I just started making posts where I was just like, I'm confused. Like I don't like I'm not saying like I'm mad. I'm not saying anything's wrong. I'm just saying like based on everything I've ever known, I'm confused. And then that turned into like some of the more viral content I had early on about music where people were like, "You're being weird. Why do you hate Kendrick?" And I was like, "Did we not read the book together?" And people were like, "We don't need to read the book. Kendrick already told us everything we needed to know." And I was like, I just was like, I just kept finding myself being more and more flabbergasted. So then it was like, I started having these back and forths with people that was like different than other conversations because I was just like referencing the book from the album. Like I felt like I was in high school where someone had like was like I spark noted it and I know what I'm talking about. I was like, but Spark Notes doesn't really tell you what Ben Hur is about. It's a 400-page book,
Right.
and it was just like I felt like I was like again like back in grade school where you were like arguing with people about like something that they didn't know what they were talking about because they didn't read the book. And then I started getting answers like, I don't need to read the book. And I just was like, where are we in this music commentary space where people are talking about something and they didn't read the study guide? Like, what's happening? So then it just turned into me making more and more content like that. And then I started making more and more Drake content because I was like, I don't know why people hate him. From what I remember, he's been a great guy. What did he do?
Yes.
And then I never heard what he did. Like I heard stuff happen with Wayne and his girl, but like they're friends. So I like what did he do? And I never got an answer. So now I'm just making Drake content at least for this week, and then we'll get back to our regularly scheduled programming.
So with that, actually, I got a question. So, what do you remember? Like, do you recall like what specific Drake content kind of took off for you, and when like that started happening down that lane?
The first like Drake piece of content, or like first time I listened to Drake.
The first piece of content that took you down this lane you've been on.
Okay, so I've been doing music commentary. So my thesis for cultural content, because I don't think it's just music, because I've done like I did a JJK by the Drake and Kendrick beef. Like I literally took the characters and transposed the anime of Jujutsu Kaisen to like the music. I try to talk about popular culture like within a umbrella. So it's like sometimes it's hard to describe using words what I'm seeing, but sometimes by describing it through another piece of content that's like similar in my mind, it makes things make sense. So the first piece that like really went crazy is when I was talking about Jujutsu Kaisen specifically. I don't know if you guys have ever watched JJK,
No.
but there's basically like I just described Kanye, Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, everybody like through the characters. And a lot of people were like, oh man, like I had never thought about it like that. Like, yeah, Kanye would be Sukuna for sure. Like, oh yeah, Drake is Gojo. Some people hated it, but like nonetheless, you felt something about it, but it took it away from just like the beef and started like being able to compare. And that's like my goal for content. Always talk about something I enjoy. I never talk about what I hate. And then I also just like always talk about things from a space of like, can I teach people what I'm trying to convey rather than trying to be right? Because maybe someone could teach me something that I don't know, and that's happened a few times. So that's just always my goal when I'm talking about the content generally.
It's a good old fashioned dialogue. It's crazy notion in a lot of places these days, but
Yeah, 100%, bro. Like everybody wants to be right, and I think they really are holding on to their ideas. And sometimes like they say things, and I'm like, you had to have heard what you just said. Like there's just no way that we just like went through this cycle, but they didn't. Like they only hear in their head like I gotta be right, and that's it's one of my favorite quotes is like, do you want to be right or do you want to be at peace? I don't think most people want to be at peace, so I'm just like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's so good. Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Jared.
No, I was gonna say it's just crazy how people wrap their entire identity up in being right or on this side, and it's like, and then they wrap their entire identity up in it, and you can tell that it's not a well researched, well thought out position. It's just because of a few inputs that prompted them enough to do it, and then they just happen to bet enough on it one day or hold the line, and it's like, okay, now this is my identity. If I'm wrong, my whole thing crumbles.
yeah. I think a lot of people don't want to look wrong. They like more than anything
For sure,
so.
and I understand that.
Yeah. Well, I just don't think they thought about like what it means. Like it doesn't mean anything. Like when I made a post about Charlamagne the God, I said he said something about J. Cole. He didn't. So I apologized. I was like, yeah, he didn't say that. But also the point still stands. I still think he doesn't like him. But I can admit that I got that part wrong. And a lot of people were like, wow, bro, like that was like really cool that you apologized. Like, yeah, I got it wrong. And then some people were like, dude, you shouldn't apologize. I was like, but I got it wrong. Like I said the wrong thing. I don't care that the point was like maybe correct still. I'm not gonna supplement my point with a lie. That's ridiculous. But now I realize, look, I don't know, man. Like I keep asking people, what did Drake do? And they're just like, they don't tell me. So I don't know. I don't have the answers.
Let's talk about that. What do you think it is? I mean, before we actually hit the record button, we were kind of talking about Carlos Miller, the comedian, talking about how Drake's just kind of always been hated, maybe because of his good looks, his light skin, his good hair, the fact that girls like him, the fact that he can make all this type of music. I guess, if you had to break it down to a minute sense, what do you think it is that they just don't like about him? Because, I mean, if you just say his music's trash, I obviously like music is opinionated, right? So you can like some or not, but what really is it? What does it come down
Well,
to?
I'll be honest with you, man. Like I never try to say like the point direct. I always like try to make a point through like a story. So I think back to when I was in college, which, are you having a drink? Is that okay if I have a drink while we're on
Dude,
the
please.
show?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Drink
Yes.
up.
Cheers to everybody who's watching. Thank you so much
Cheers.
for being here.
I need 3 of those peach leanies with the red.
Said those
Dressed up
leans,
with
those
the
Lena
red.
Turners, those Lena Turners.
Those Lena Marie's.
The Lena Marie's, bro. All right, so there was this girl that hated me in college, bro. Like hated me, and I was like, I didn't understand what it was. We had never talked. We had never. It was nothing. And I was just like, I remember one day we finally sat down, and she was just like, I don't know why you're so full of yourself. Like, I don't know why you're so like, you're just like you're kind of a piece of shit, basically, for lack of better words. And I was just like, I was like, what about it? And she was like, I don't know what gives you the right to like be walking around campus like you do. Like, you're not all that, and I don't know. And so what I realized was like my confidence of just being myself, genuinely myself in my own skin, was like a problem for her. It turned out like I reminded her of someone else is what she said. But like as life has gone on, whenever people have not liked me, it's typically like something going on with themselves or something going on with someone else. And I remind them of that person. And that's what, like, I just did a post about Drake versus Kendrick through the Janice STFU.
I saw that post. Yes.
Yeah. And like in the book, it said anything that you strongly react to someone else is in you. Like that was in the book that Kendrick did this album on. And so like whatever everybody feels about him, I feel like it's more a reflection of what's going on in themselves. Like, is there just like a belief that you can't be happy and successful? Like, is there a belief that like you can't really do it with your day ones? Is it the braids? Like, I don't know, but like throughout the whole time frame of him making music, I would always hear things about like how he's bad. And I would be like, what I personally felt like was I felt like I kept watching him create win-win scenarios, and it almost seemed like people took it as like he's taking advantage, like because he's the bigger artist. Yeah, like when he put Kendrick and ASAP on that tour, and recently I heard Punch saying like, well, let's not pretend this wasn't a win for him. It's like, yeah, maybe, but like it could also be that it was also like he really liked Kendrick's music and he chose to do that over what the label said. Like when he did the 3 albums, the reason I made the content that I said is a trilogy is people act like he put out 3 albums to get out the deal, so that means the albums are bad. He can walk and chew gum. Like he can do both, right? Like it can be both. It doesn't always have to, like, it's like everyone believes there's only one reason for everything. He signed this person only, like he only signed that or is working with the girl who used to be signed to like Pharrell's friend or whatever. What's her name?
Saw that, yes.
Yeah.
People are like, getting back at Pusha.
Yeah, they're like, it's a get back. She could also be a really good artist. Like it can be both. And that's what I just feel like I keep watching. Like people will say Drake did this because it benefits him. It can benefit him and also be good for other people.
Right.
Like that's just what like it could be both, right? Can't it? Like I'm sorry that he makes a lot of good decisions. It seems like he has a really good team. Like the Toronto Raptors practice arena is called OVO Arena. Like they
That's
just did a deal with
crazy,
F1.
man. Wow.
Like OVO has signed really great artists. Party Next Door and
I love Party. Majid
Jordan, and who just followed me. Shout out Majid. Like,
nice.
Division. Like, these are all really like. Can't it be both? That's why I feel like people feel like it could only be one. What's that?
Is Popcorn signed to OVO?
I think so. I don't like.
Love me some Popcorn.
Yeah, I love that too. Like, I just like it's just like every time he wins and people win with him, but maybe not as big. It's like, see, he did it for the win. It's like he could also like the thing, right? Like he could have done the song. He goes, because he liked the song and it became a bigger song, like
it would have been win-win to have her on and he could think, but all that is true. And let's not ignore the fact that she opened up the bidding for her involvement in that project at $0, and
Yeah,
he ended it at $500,000. Like
yeah,
it that.
it's dope.
And it's not just a stunt. He does that. Hasn't he? I don't think he has. He didn't he never charge Migos for a feature and just
I've heard.
split it. I think, or very little. I don't think he charged those guys. I'm
Yeah.
pretty certain for Versace at least, but I think for a lot of
The
his features, he was like, yeah, we'll just get publishing off it or something.
Yeah, and I also think then it's like again, so like maybe there is more money in the publishing, but he could also charge for the publishing and take money up front. You know,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
there's all like I almost feel like from everything that I've seen, the people who don't like him, like for instance in the UK, the artists who don't like him, I've never heard him do songs with. Like I haven't heard Central C or David say like, "Oh man, like Drake, I did that song with him and he's trash." Or like
Yes.
I've not seen people he's made music with who he's still making music with be like, "Oh man, like, Drake isn't doing something." I have seen people who I feel like maybe felt like they should be bigger or maybe felt like they should have gotten more out of the scenario be upset. But I mean, I don't know. Like at the end of the day, like here's the thing. I don't know Drake. Never met him. Maybe I will one day. People are like, "You're only doing this for OVO chain." That's not the case. The point for me is like I just like to get to the truth. In general, I feel like we like similar to like Ye is one of my favorite artists. I remember he said the truth sounds crazy in a world of lies. We live in a world where like simultaneously we make a point that like the world is full of lies, that the music industry is garbage, and then at the same time we'll be like mad at Drake, who seems to be at war with the label. And I'm just like, what is it? Are we on the side of the music industry or are we on the side of people like trying to maybe change the industry? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to
Wow.
get to the truth. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure it out. But the more I
Yeah.
ask questions, the more Drake makes sense, and the less like everything else I see makes sense. So I don't know. Like I could be wrong.
Wow.
That's amazing.
One of the things I wanted to bring up, and this might even tie back into maybe why people started to dislike him as his career went on, because in the early days, as we remember, right, from the Thank Me Later days, the Take Care days, he was mainly just rapping, and then since
Mm-hmm.
then he's become almost a genre master, right, and all these different things he's done. So, question I had is Drake has survived multiple generations of rap by adopting the culture he shifted, R&B. You talked about the UK scene, dance hall, Afrobeat. Do you think people maybe hate on him that much more because he hasn't just stuck into this like lyrical kind of, philosophical rap, and he's dived into like and had songs like Passion Fruit and Hotline Bling? Like does that just add to the hate that much more?
Yeah, I think there's like a few things in play. So when you think about people looking at a person, they want to be able to figure out the box. And when you think back on Ye, sure, people are comfortable with the things he does now, like music and art and like fashion. But every time he tried to make a jump, they were saying he can't do that. When Drake said, "I'm gonna go and rap from being an actor," people were like, "Yeah, that's cute." Like when he started to rap and sing, people said, "Yeah, that's cute," or like whatever it is. But you're not supposed to be successful at all the things. Like maybe
Right.
you get around. But here's the thing: that saying, a lot of the sayings that we do are typically wrong. People say it's like better to be the master of one, the master of none. But like the actual saying is that the master of like everything is better than all that. And I'm like,
Better to be a jack of all trades than a master of one. Yeah.
oh, there
Yes.
we go. So
Yes.
man,
Yeah.
I'm over here. I'm terrible with the names, but like this is why the clips help me a lot. Like I can sit and I can look back up a thing. Whenever I do things live, I'm like, bro, there's this thought I'm having, and I don't remember the name of it. 'Cause I have,
Same. No.
but
Totally get it. No.
I think people
Your credentials and your knowledge speak for itself, man. The body of
yeah,
work's
like
out there.
the it's like that with him. Like you look at him and he does everything so well. I think people feel like it has to be cosplay because in your own heart, if you're not good at the things you wish you were, or you don't feel like you've won to the level that you should have, seeing someone win at all levels with everything has just got to make you angry. Like, and I think that's also why people get caught into a time frame of music, because it's like, if you were in high school when Take Care came out and you remember how happy life was at that point, and now you're not happy with life, the love of Take Care has less to do with the music and has way more to do with like loving the
personal.
time frame that you were,
Wow.
born that you had then, because that was when your dreams died. Drake's dream should have
Yes.
died too. Like, why is he
But
still
they
winning
didn't.
2 decades later? That's my thought. I mean, that's what I see
Damn.
a lot, but I don't know. That's just That was kind of a bar for her. I need to write that
Dude,
down.
that is you just dropped a fucking gem. That was a new
That
one.
was, it's so
Wow.
true too. Yeah. Dude, I mean, think about that too. So what, Take Care would have been 2011?
Yeah, I want to say
11, yeah, 11.
College, bro.
Yeah.
Bless.
And he's like, I think I killed everybody in the game last year
I
in
was on
2011. It's like,
And
it's
in
crazy to
2011,
think about.
And in 2011, he thought he found the girl of his dreams in the strip club, and he was wrong then too. So I was
yes,
like,
He was wrong
He
though.
did say
yeah.
Jared,
Oh,
so Django, Jared and I have asked ourselves this question before, but why does it seem? Because like we've talked about this, I actually like GNX and I've liked Humble and some of Kendrick's projects. I haven't liked all of them, but what we feel like is, people who are Kendrick fans seem to hate Drake, yet it doesn't seem that people who are diehard Drake fans hate Kendrick. And we sit in here, we're like, why is it like there's so much, it seems like hatred spewed on one side, but yet it doesn't seem so much like that on the other.
So I think that there are more people who hate things that hate Drake that are more the side of like my friend's enemy is my enemy, or enemy of my enemy is my friend. Like
Yes.
I think I don't like, for instance, with the Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, when that album came out, I was living in Austin, Texas. I remember listening to that album and loving it. I remember hearing Eckhart Tolle for the first time. I loved everything about that album, and I was referencing that album a lot when I talked to people about us overcoming traumas, us like dealing with our pain body. Like I was constantly the biggest trooper for Kendrick Lamar and Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, and Damn, and To Pimp a Butterfly. I went to more Kendrick Lamar concerts early on than any other concert.
Wow.
And then when that happened,
Damn.
I just was like befuddled. First off, like I just didn't understand, because I actually feel like at that time Kendrick fans didn't hate anyone for the most
Yes.
part. Like that whole Big Three concept that was happening during the blog era. When you think about Cole, when I think about the time frame, it was like a mixed bag to me. Kendrick, Cole, Big Sean,
Big
Wale,
Sean was in there.
Drake. Like
Wale,
I felt like
maybe
we're the
Wale
guys.
was
Wale was in there for sure. So it was like a 5 to 6 for me that were always putting out great music. I don't ever remember anyone being like, I hate Drake, Kendrick's the best. It was just like, I like Kendrick and I like Drake and I like Schoolboy Q and I like Childish
Yes.
Gambino and I like Nipsey Hussle and I like. Then all of a sudden it just got weird, and I feel like it had more to do with people who don't like anything and like to hate the thing that's the most popular, I guess, is what it started to feel like. Because sometimes when I have a conversation with someone who hates Drake and says Kendrick is better, when I ask them about Kendrick, there's not much to talk about. So, like, that's what I always say to people who talk negatively on a comment. And they're like, I hated this Drake album. And I'll be like, okay, well, what do you like? And it'll be like, I don't like Drake. It's like, okay, like, but what do you like? What can I make a post about that you'll enjoy? Like, and 9 times out of 10, it's like, well, it's not Drake. Okay, like, sick, dude. But what do you want? Like,
Right.
Like, I'm not hearing
You
what you
DM'd
like.
me.
Exactly. Like, I'm hearing that you don't like Drake. Like when I was watching the Drake, there's a post I did. I was watching the Drake joint. Drake is burning the bot farm.
Oh, the bots. Yeah.
And a guy DMs me when I say, "Yo, Drake's going for $1 million first week." Like I was just like, this is the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And some dude DMs me, and he's like, "Why do you care?" I'm like, "Why are you in my DMs? Like,
Why do you care enough to comment? Like,
Yeah, because I like it. Why do you care?
Right. I feel like the hater mentality, for some reason, people like decided to do like hate times hate. Like we decided to do like hate squared, because it's the easiest thing. Like when you hate something, like if I say I hate Drake because he sings, and then you say I hate Drake because he raps, we can both be like, yeah, actually, we both hate the same thing. When you say I love Drake and how he raps, like I love his raps, and someone asks you, what do you love about the raps? You have to actually like communicate. You have to use your words on how his raps make you feel or what it is that you like about it. That's difficult. Most people, I don't think, have a command of the English language to actually describe what they like. No. So it's way easier to double hate than it is to double like. Because if I say, yeah, I like because he raps, and I explain it, and then you're like, yeah, that doesn't make sense to me, well, then then we're kind of at a stalemate. But if I say, yo, I hate Drake, I hate the way he looks, you might be like, you know what, I hadn't even thought of that. I hate the way he looks too.
Yeah,
me too. And then you hear someone over there like, me 3 actually. Yeah, I hate Drake too. And you're like, wow, like we can get this fire spurred, but it has nothing to do with like liking anything other than just feeling like you're a part of the hate train, is what I feel. So that's what I think it's.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that's what I think. That's what I think is like the hate that comes from Kendrick's side. I don't know that it's Kendrick fans. I feel like it's people who don't like Drake fans in a way,
Yes.
if that makes sense. Yeah.
Do you feel like the ones that are particularly vicious with their hate, do you think that perhaps they were just in the act of Googling the Mercedes Pullman when Drake said that they were going to do that in that one bar when he says, I just got me the Mercedes Pullman. You never heard of it. You had to hit up Google. Because
We
I'll
all
be
did
honest. I that literally the second he said Mercedes Pullman in there, I absolutely did hit up Google. And when he goes, you probably had to hit up Google. As I'm Googling it on my iPhone, I was like, this man's an absolute genius. And this is great. I bet there was a subset of the population there that just said, oh, this guy.
I think
Just little stuff like that. Like I know there was a thing that he wasn't relatable, and it's just like, yeah, okay. But Tom Brady wasn't relatable to me either. It's pretty cool to watch him win Super Bowls.
but you see, like Tom Brady's not relatable to a Bills fan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
to someone who loves this other thing.
That's true. It's more passionate, yeah.
Right. At a personal level, like, here's something I did a post about recently. Like, for years, for most of my life, college athletes never made any money. Like, that was just a thing. We all accepted it. Yeah. And then when LeVar Ball came around, because we all had said, like, hey, this needs to change, this needs to change, this needs to change. LeVar Ball comes around and says, I'm done with this. I'm taking my sons overseas. Like, his son would have gone to a top college. And then, you know, he's vocal about, hey, like, this needs to change. And all of a sudden, like, he became the worst person in the world. Like, and I was like, and I just remember at the time I was asking, I was like, yo, am I the only one who remembers that we don't like how college sports don't pay athletes? Like, am I the only one that remembers that time frame? Because now I'm hearing like he's stealing from his son's experience for college. And I was like, where did that energy go? The same thing happened when with like Justin Bieber. I feel like Justin Bieber, the whole time he was fighting the system, trying to escape, it was like Justin Bieber's the worst person ever. He's a drug addict. Like, I said this, like Kanye and Justin Bieber are the only two people who I ever see who like are surprised paparazzi found them. Like when the Kardashians see them, or like when you like I feel like everybody else calls paparazzi and they like because they can disappear, right? Like when the Kardashians aren't recording, you don't see them. Like you don't ever see any paparazzi pictures. But when they're gearing up, it's like they find them again. It's like the only people who don't have a good relationship with paparazzi are people who seem to be fighting the system. So now I'm here with like Drake, and I'm like, I hear him wanting to be independent. I hear him signing these people to good deals. I hear all these good things from everybody else, but like somehow I feel like there's this undertone of like we don't like him, and I'm like, is it a thing? Are people paying people to say they don't like it? Are they paying people beforehand to say the album's not going to be good? You know, I saw the Pitchfork article I did a video on. It was like, you know, he's a waning star. I'm like, is it, who said?
Like really? Because he just came out with the most well thought out, well written, with visuals, bangers, emotional tracks, just like everything. It was the most complete package. Everything thought out for 2 years. Or like, oh, he's talking about a beef 2 years later. He's been dropping hints. I mean, it was a masterclass.
Yeah, and I think you can only hate it if you just want to hate it. It's just how it feels to me.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess I don't. If you want to put your tinfoil hat on here, go ahead. And if at any point you just like, I don't want to speak on that, go for it, man. But I'm kind of going somewhere with this. It caught me right out of the beginning with the interview. You're like, I've never had a discourse like this with people. Like all of a sudden it was just like blind hate, hey, trash, he's this, I can't, blah, blah, blah. And it was like a noticeable change for you. I feel like we've seen that in politics too. Like that's a lot of what the political discourse is. And there's an element of bots in the political discourse out there. That's the thing. And I'm not saying every person, because like you post some of the DMs, dude, and it's always cool that you ask them if you can post it too. That's really nice. That's a big move because you don't have to do that, and they're, especially when they're hating on you, you ask. But you know, so like those people, I think are legitimate people, and I'm not saying everything, but like, do you think there's an element? What element do you think? And not even for streams. It's like it's not that hard. These people do have access to it. Do you think it's that unrealistic? Some of the more just Neanderthalish thinking, like blind hate. And I think the psychology that you broke down, I don't want to take away from that, like, oh, it's all bots, but like, I think that there's definitely a lot of people engaging in that. but it seems so amplified. And it's like, how are this many people like this? It's like, do you think there is an element of bots? And then I do have a part two to it, but
Well, I think like so there's this in the book 1984 there's like the hate time that they have where for like 5 minutes they're supposed to yell at the screen. And it turns out if you've ever read 1984 it's like
is that the Orwell thing?
yeah, it's the Orwell thing.
Yeah, Orwell.
It's
Okay,
like
I haven't read. I think they.
it's an insane book, bro. I won't ruin this part for you, but like it just turns out like for lack of better words that like they realized that they needed a group to hate. It didn't matter who the group was. You could change the group at a drop and people would go towards a thing to hate. I think like I genuinely feel like there's a like underlying want to hate a thing. Like that's the whole point of why I've been saying like my content is about only talking about what I love, and people are like, "Well, why don't you talk about those things that clearly should be hated on?" And I'm like, everybody already does that though. Like, why do I need to add
It's too much
to
of
the
that.
fact that I didn't like something? Like I already know everybody didn't like something. There's a whole commentator. Like there was a guy who crashed out on me, and his in his name was Crash Out, and he kept saying like, I know that Django. He was like, Django says that he's nice and calm and he doesn't get mad, but really like he's just as angry in his heart as me. And I realized like that's what he thinks. Like the only way you can be comfortable hating all the time is if you think everyone is hating to like the same level that you're hating. It's exhausting.
So
There's
true.
there's actually not to cut you off. There's a guy who's known about here who has hate in his name. Jared, you know who I'm talking about. But that's what he does. He goes on these rants and basically just mainly talks about things he dislikes. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm the type of guy like I don't even like that negative energy around me too much. Like I'm more your speed. Like let's talk about something I enjoy and I care about. Let's go that route.
Right, bro. Like imagine if Ebro, Django, Charlemagne the God, DJ Academics, and what's the white bald dude who does
The dude from Apple.
Fontano.
Oh,
I think
Fontana.
his name. Yeah, Fontana.
Jared loves that.
Imagine if we all only talked about what we liked. Like we literally only talked about the artists we like. There would be enough where we wouldn't even overlap. Right? Like
Yes.
there's stuff that Fontana likes, stuff that Academics likes, stuff that Ebro likes, where it's like, cool, if that's what you like, do what you like. But the problem is like people feel I don't think that most people know how to communicate about what they like. Like it's always us versus them is how we describe what we like.
I love how you said earlier, you said it's easy to double hate something than it is to double
way
like.
easier to double hate. It's also like, for instance, have you ever like let's just say politics, for instance. Every time somebody wins for president, what you end up watching is whatever group won fracture. So like right now, the conservative, Republicans, whatever are in, fractured, bro. Like look at the list right now. Like everybody's all over the place. Like
Yes.
Candace
Gone.
Owens hates
Yeah.
Erica hates this person, Trump's with this side. Like it's like WWE over there. But the reason is because you won. Now you have to find out what we have in common. It's super easy to run when you're like, if we lose this, the other side is going to ruin everything. Then everyone's like, okay, well, we're with that guy because it's the lesser of two evils. But like when you have to sit there and be like, hey, so my plan is this, people be like, I hate your plan. Like I thought we agreed on this. It's like, no, we only agreed we didn't like the other side. That got us to win. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now we have to go to the huddle and agree on if we're going to be in a 2-3 zone or a man, and we don't actually even know we had to play defense.
Love the basketball analogy right there, by the way.
Yeah, like we were about to run an I formation and we didn't realize we don't even have a running back. Like we are like, however you want to run it, like it's we thought hockey was a 7-man series, thought it was soccer. Like it's like everyone was talking different languages because it was sports. Like we were saying sports, like we're gonna win at sports, and then when we got in the huddle, we found out everybody played different games. Like that's what I feel like is what I watch in music. It's what I watch in like sports. Not sports. Politics. It's like everybody can do a great job hating on the other side, but the second you have to put together a coherent argument as to what we should do, it's like, who is this guy?
I want to ask something. This kind of I feel like ties in because I've always kind of randomly thought about this, Jared. We might have talked about this personally, but like, why is it that like within hip hop or rap culture, there's so much beefing, but like you don't hear country stars beefing a whole lot. You don't hear
Those bluegrass playing MFers over there, dude. Like, man, if I hear one more fiddle in that, dude, they ain't playing no steel guitar. Like, you don't hear that.
Why is it this genre that like there's so much animosity?
So I'm gonna hopefully this turns into like I think this could be a viral clip. Basically, when you think about the roots of hip hop, when you heard Ebro talk about it recently, what he said was, "Yo, hip hop is the underground. It's fight for the number one spot. It's all these other things." Hip hop was born out of a space that was both limited resources and a trauma response. So like when you think about what was hip hop, we wanted to, as a group, show who we were, that we mattered. You said we don't matter, and we're going to show you how our stories matter. It's why I also believe that hip hop has the most power and why people are so drawn to like a NBA Youngboy or some of the others, even though you're driving to a 9 to 5, because you can feel the similarity in the energy of wanting to punch your boss in the face. Are you going to punch your boss in the face? No, but like the
which you metaphorically
there, right? It is still an energy of I want to fight the system. But there's this like one of my favorite like it's like allegory of the cave situation where it's like a girl's mom is cutting the sides off the ham before she puts it in the oven, and she's like, "Mom, why are you cutting that joint off the why are you cutting the ham off the sides of the ham?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't know, my mom did it." So they go ask her mom. Her mom says, "I don't know, my grandma did it, or my mom did it." So they go to the nursing home, and she's like, "I cut it off because the oven wasn't big enough." And so it turns out like they could have had all the ham this entire time, but they had been throwing away a part that couldn't be used in the past that can be used now. So like I think beef was helpful for a time to become number one because also the people who were buying had limited resources. So whoever's number one, like, yeah, you get their fans. Like, you're the best. That's what hip hop was. Now, bro, with streaming, Kendrick didn't get Drake's fans when people were saying he won. Like people who were Drake fans were still Drake fans. Correct. You know, like when people beef and become the proverbial number one or whatever, like that doesn't win you more fans. No. You just like it's not the same. Like we're not playing the same game anymore. And I keep saying that to people where I'm like, look, I understand ego gets you to a place. I understand like you believe it's needed, but it's also causing, I feel like, the detriment of the art form because we could have had like a Drake Kendrick album. We could have had that Kendrick J. Cole album.
Incredible.
We could have had a Meek Mill Drake collab album. Like that to me matters more than the beef. The beef is cool. You get like 5 dope songs. You're like, wow, it was, Ether. Yep. Wow, this is amazing. It could have been like a J. Cole Nas album at the time. I feel like that would have been cooler.
It could have been.
Yeah. That's my theory.
Okay, you just said like 20 things. I'm going to try and remember like 2 or 3 of them that I got. The first one I have to ask, dude. I used to do Lean Six Sigma process consulting in healthcare, okay? Mm-hmm. That is the only place, and we used to use the ham story, we called it, that you just told with everyone to talk about the weight, like 7 types of waste. It was like an example of one of the types of waste. Where did you hear the ham story?
Again, I'm always trying to figure out the truth. And most of the times I find it in stories. So like I don't remember what, like I went through a YouTube phase where I was just watching videos.
Okay. So it must have been, okay. But I was like, dude, did you do like Lean Six Sigma stuff? Cause it's like it's a story that's used there all the time. That was crazy. 2, I think a distinction that I feel like I'm getting out of this too, and it's funny because I used to use the terms like a little bit interchangeably, but I think there's been a shift. I think certainly gatekeeping, unless it's an actual gate and you got people attacking you, like the whole gatekeeping in the industry, I feel like that's the hate part of it. Is that's the people talking about hate, and only if they fit their little box, will they get a good rating and then go through. We need more taste making. And that I think that's what you do. You're more tastemaker because it's like in the same way that you're like, okay, I guess they see this slop and they're like, I guess I got to hate this. Okay, fine. I hate that guy. So they have some blind, comment. It's like, okay, that's why I don't like that. Cool. I'm fitting in. Mm-hmm. But the tastemaker, when you only talk about the positive and you don't tell people what to hate, and you're just like, hey, this is like you do, authentic. This is just what I genuinely like. People could talk about flower gardening and passionately, and I could enjoy it, but I know that's not for me. And then I'll go find something that I do. I'll go watch, Outdoor Boys, or I'll go watch something like, I'll go watch Django, like I'll go watch something like that. And it's just like, that's taste making. Then you find your lane and it's like, oh, wow, I can actually grow with this. And I understand. And it's, like I said, for me, you talk about what you like. I like Drake, and it's not a blind thing. I enjoy the music. I have respect for 2 decades of dominance, basically, and among many other things, but just putting it in at a high level there. But man, the taste making thing is we need more of that, and I feel like that's definitely what you do.
And I'm with you on that. And also, like, so for instance, this happened with the Jack Harlow album. Like, I liked the Jack Harlow album. I posted about it. It was I'll be honest with you. Like, I owe Jack probably like $5,000 off what I made on TikTok on views. Like, it was nuts.
Damn.
If I ever meet hut him, I will say thank you a million times, because it also taught
You
me
can buy him a
something
new
about.
hat.
Yeah. But let me tell you what was hilarious to me that I found out. One of the points I made was Jack Harlow making this type of music is good for the genre. And people said, how could it be good for the genre? He's going to colonize it. And I was like, It isn't CD. We're not living in this CD universe anymore. Everyone has bought all the music they can with the cost at the beginning of the month. When I buy $14.99 hits my account for Spotify, I then pay with my ears, right?
Yes.
Like, so whoever I'm listening to gets it. If someone says to you they like Jack Harlow and they knew nothing about that sound, then you can say, like what I did. I said, James Savage was amazing on there. And then so many people have discovered James Savage, but this started with Jack Harlow. I listened to Jack Harlow's album. I saw James Savage was on the album. I listened to James Savage. I like James Savage. I then shared James Savage. This idea of like, oh, I discovered James Savage, I'm going to gatekeep James Savage is weird. Like, you don't want to see the artist win. You don't want to scream it from the rooftops. Like, and I saw that like BTS, for instance, is the opposite of this. When I did a post about BTS, people are DMing me. Oh man, welcome to the army. Let me show you around. Let me show you everything that we have. You're gonna love the music here. Like, the concept of, again, like, this is the ham thing. It's like, for a period of time, yeah, if someone steps into the lane of the music and eats up all the money for the CDs, yeah, that sucks. But no one's like. No, we're not fighting for CDs.
We're past that.
Like, we're past that. It's now streams. So, like, if I gatekeep my favorite artist, I'm doing my favorite artist a disservice. I'm doing my genre a disservice.
Yes.
Like, the more people who show up, the more we can have an algorithm that says also these artists. Like, I don't know. I thought it would make sense to people, but like, the more I described it, the more angry people became with me during that time. And I was like, weird. I don't understand what you're missing. Like, you're paying with your ears. The money is a sunk cost. We all pay for a streaming service of some sort.
Like,
right?
if I'm following someone who is about an artist that I like, for you, for example, and you recommend this artist who's similar, or just, I'm probably more, the odds of me going to listen to that new artist are very high. I mean, it's a fucking brainer.
Like, I'll say this right now. Like, if you guys like my Instagram and you're watching this, or you like my content, don't gatekeep me. Send it to people. Like,
yeah, that's how we got here.
Interview them on your podcast.
like, hit me up. I mean, like, this concept of I found something and it's a precious resource that must be hidden is like an insane. It just is like kind of an insane concept when you say it out loud. Like,
first thing I do is text him.
Yep.
The first thing I do.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm like, sometimes the song's not done, and I'm like, blind firing this off. This is I'm a minute and 15 in. He's gonna love this.
Like, I don't know. It's like, hip hop has some challenges that I'm just like, I understand. Like, again, I want to take a step back. I understand the feeling of competition and wanting competition to matter. I understand wanting to be number one. I understand, like, you know, those things. I also understand that, like, believing that beating someone will win you their fans is an antiquated concept. It doesn't exist. Like, we saw that with Kendrick. Like, Kendrick had a boost of people listening for a period of time. It's still up more, but like, at what cost? We could have had an album with people that would help people get bigger. Like, you can do that. You can get together like Yachty did with Concrete Boys, or like Ty Dolla $ign when he did his joint with Ye, where you see that boost. You saw that with Drake just now. All those people, Santana, Future, anyone who was on that album has more monthly listeners now than they did yesterday, because
our cousin Drew did the numbers on Molly. I think he said she went from 500,000 to almost 500,000 followers.
Yeah,
almost
7
Molly Santana, is that what it is?
Yeah,
Molly Santana.
Okay, cool. I just want to apologize, Molly, for earlier. I said like, who's that girl? That I felt terrible about that. I don't want that to get clipped and people be like, that guy Django doesn't know Molly Santana. I can already hear it. The guy Django who claims to be the voice of the culture doesn't know who Molly Santana is.
I just discovered her because of The Boys. So I mean, I think we're all in that same.
I heard he's the man now, but we'll see.
Yeah.
He is the man now.
That's what I heard. I don't know. I mean, it could be.
Jared, Jared used to. Hey, go ahead. I want to kind of go into some. I think it's all fair to say that we're all fans of The Boys. So I got kind of a fan question, Django. Jared, I want your opinion on this too, because I have my favorite. But all of Drake's timestamp records: 5 a.m. in Toronto, 4 p.m. in Calabasas, 7 a.m. on Bridle Path. Give me your guys' favorites and why. Do you guys have a
If
favorite?
Drake
Because
gives you
I
a
do.
time and a place, it's a wrap, dude. It's done. It's over.
I have a strict non-favorite rule for just everything in my life
Okay.
because
I
one of the
like
things I
that.
realize is it's all about the vibe of the day. So it's
Yeah,
like,
respect that.
when I feeling nostalgic, we gotta like go to the beginning. What is it?
5
Is
a.m.
it is that the 5 a.m.? Like
So
I
5
just
a.m. really quick. He's got that bar Sinatra lifestyle. I'm just being frank with you. I mean,
oh,
where you think she at when she ate with you, wilding, probably doing shit that's way out of your budget. That shit, dude. When I first heard
Johnny
that
got me
bar,
feeling good. Johnny got me pushing 2 plates. That one, you
bro,
called that one out
yes,
to me.
dude.
I love
but it's
that. 5
but it's
a.m.
all,
Yeah.
it's also like I just want to take a step back. Like there's something to Drake's music that also I remember I turned that song on and I was walking in high school past the like career day that was
Yeah, you like
happening
flash
and then
back
like
to
it
it.
flashes me back. And I think Drake like it's something about like I remember when people called the control verse like when he said are you
Oh,
listening to it now at this? Like I don't know what it is that Drake does but like I have very distinct memories of almost every moment of discovering or hearing new Drake music from literally uh, being listening to So Far Gone in the back of an Applebee's after losing an AAU tournament
yeah,
to like
crazy.
listening to Some Sexy Songs for You when I was in New Orleans looking over a bridge after a book event to like
Wow,
honestly never mind after the Curry and the Warriors won the championship I don't know what he does I don't
crazy.
know how he does it but I remember every major moment of like discovering new Drake music
Because
from
he
like
makes
downloading
timeless
on it.
music. I think
It is
that. I mean,
time.
I think that's what it is. I think that's the answer.
I
I
remember
remember
being in
where
my.
I was
Oh,
just gonna
go
say one
for it.
more. I remember where I was when I heard Paris Morton music. I do not remember where I was when I heard Aston Martin music.
Oh,
Damn.
is it because of that
Like
rose on it? I mean,
no, I'm just like
no, I'm
I
just
don't know
kidding.
what it was, but like I can tell you that I remember downloading the Variable Artist Mix 36 on Dat Piff at school, and I remember turning on the first song because I couldn't even see it. Do you remember how that worked
Crazy.
when
I
you
do
would download?
remember Dab Piff ones.
At
Yeah.
Yes.
school, you only I could download stuff. I remember I downloaded at school. I had no speakers. I just kind of did a quick look at the various artists, and I was like, okay, I see there's a Drake joint on here. It wasn't even named Paris Morton music. It was called like Hug Your Mothers or something, or Kiss Your Mothers, because it was that verse. And I remember listening to this, and I was
I was
like,
gonna
this
say
is a
because
great
it was
song.
they melded them together at one point,
Yeah.
right?
I just was like, bro, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life. I remember that. I do not remember where I was when I heard Aston Martin music. I'm sorry that I hope that doesn't hurt Rick Ross's feelings. I just never knew it
No.
as Aston Martin music. I knew it as Paris Morton music, but
Yeah.
that neither here nor there. What were you gonna say, Dre?
No, I mean same thing, dude. It's just like I mean I remember sitting there the first. I remember being in there. I remember I it came out and I didn't listen to it on my way to class in college when Take Care came out. And I
Yeah.
remember this was before LEDs and all the lights in your room was that cool. But I had some and like I'll set the mood. I don't know why, but man, that room was real foggy in there. I'll let you know if I figure out why it was so foggy in there when I was about to listen to the Drake project for the first time. But like that's one of the best memories of my life. And I remember being if there was ever a time in my life where I would have been someone that was like, fuck that, give me the hard shit, dude. What is this? Blah, blah, blah. What is over my dead? I remember it just slapped me across the face and I just listened to the entire thing. Like Underground King, still one of my all time. I just like
Love that
that.
song.
That absolutely killed me. I love that. And then I remember one of my best memories. I remember going online. I do forget the website, but I was like, wait. I was like, and I actually hadn't heard Amigos too much before. So I was like, Versace, like Drake got on here. I was like, what is this? I heard that, and I just remember being like, oh my god. I was
Yeah.
like, this is insane. And it worked so well with them. I then became a huge Migos fan because of it, the Drake stimulus package. And we all went down to the pool and bumped it like 12 times in a row, like at the pool at ASU. It was
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
It was the best times, man. Like it was always a moment. I remember when What a Time to Be Alive came out.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my
Such a
god. I
yeah,
was
that
working
was
a job
crazy.
I hated and I was just in there, Joe man, Joe man, Joe man, Joe man.
I feel you on that, bro. But look, here's the thing. Like, let's not. I don't want people. This isn't the Drake Glaze convention. It's also
Right.
like it's the music convention. Like, I
Yes.
remember when James Savage sent me his music like a month before it came out, and I remember sitting in the room. I was like, yeah, I'll turn this on or whatever, and I listened to that album all the way through, and I'll never forget sitting down and listening to the album all the way through for the first time. Like,
Yep.
I think James Savage makes timeless music. I remember when I heard Bozzy for the first time with that song Mine, and then
Oh
he dropped
yeah.
the album later on. I feel
That's a good
like I
song.
remember being in the whip on the trip like I think I was going to Austin or something, but I just remember being in the car and what I felt listening to that first album he had. Like, there's just some music that for some reason, I don't know what it is, like touches people's souls in a certain way. For some people, like, there's music that it's more specific to them and it's not as universal. But like, I got people in Iran telling me that, like, or I'm sorry, Iran telling me that Drake is their favorite artist, and like they remember where they were when Honestly Nevermind came out. So I like that, like that, like I'm like, what? Like, you know, love from South Africa, love from Zambia, love from Ukraine. I'm like, like they know the boy in Sweden like that, but they do. So I don't know, man. It's just something about the way that he create that his team and him create music that does feel centered into the human experience, and that's why I like it. Like, and they can hate me for it, but I mean, like, I'm still gonna like it. You hating me isn't gonna change my mind.
Love that.
Yeah, it's funny too, because I feel like Drake is someone that gets. First off, I was joking with the boys earlier. I was like, him saying that him bragging about having heated seats in his Maybach. I was like, that is actually the most financially relatable bar I've heard from the boy in a while, and that's great because he's been winning. But like, you know, people always talk about like, oh, it's just his music. He said it. He called it out. His music's not even relatable. And like, I get that, and it's funny for me because even if it's not relatable, it's at least aspirational for me.
Yes.
Whereas another artist I thoroughly enjoy, Future, that's completely unrelatable to me. That's nowhere near the life. That's nowhere near the life I'm living, man. You know what I mean? But I still love the music, and it's just funny, but that's what Drake gets called out for, just because he's making $250 a week.
But let's be honest. Like, I think that hip hop is one of the purest forms of expression when people choose for it to be. So like, I remember when I heard Andre 3000 say that, like, that Future makes the most just like hood
inspirational depressing music or something like that. Yeah.
Like, I was on drugs and I was like in the Maybach and then I was in the private jet. Like, I was stunting on it. And I was like, and like that is what Future feels like. Yeah, what, I don't care what anybody thinks. Like, I'll talk about what I did in Gucci flip flops. Like, and you're like, like,
because it taps into that primal baser. For me, it's like, and it's not what it all needs to be about, but like there's a lot of it that's money, power, respect, which are very central themes to a lot of people's, especially males' life.
Culture.
Yeah, Western culture, exactly. Money, power, respect, female acquisition of ladies, like all that stuff. And it's just like, listen, I disregard females, acquire currency. Wasn't that what Wayne said? But yeah, seriously, it's like, shoot, I lost where I was going, but yeah.
Right? I feel like, look, bro, I just think hip hop, I think that when you look across hip hop, there's such a large amount of people who can say, like, it's a feeling. I don't know how to describe it. The words have nothing to do with my life. But when Drake said he had a Mercedes Pullman, or he said he was in the Vava Cinco or whatever, I'm like,
Jared, what was it? The Bibelos?
The Sony room with the Beeble.
I think whatever. I'm like, yeah, bro, like that. Yeah, I went from Tate to McWayne, back to Tate in college. Yeah, I did. They don't even know what I'm talking about when I say that. But yeah, 100%. It's like, yeah, I went from Virginia Beach to ODU, back to ODU. What do you know about that?
Yeah,
I say it the same way, but it don't hit the same way. But I felt the energy.
Okay, I got a couple random questions here, just because getting to know you a little bit more, talking to you here. Normally these would be loaded questions, and Don will know what I mean by that when I ask you about these artists. But I'm genuinely curious because I respect your opinion, and I know if you didn't like one of them or whoever, that you'd have reasons behind it. But I'm just curious because a lot of the artists you talked about, like Kendrick, Drake, Cole, all these people, like Wale. Mm-hmm. Incredible lyricists, like it's just undeniable with most of them, in my opinion. There's a few guys though, like, and I think to your point, like, they're just have hip hop being a feeling, right? There's guys out there that their music is not deep. Their music maybe is about topics, again, like Future, like they're unrelatable, but it's simple. It's not like complex, but it just makes me feel incredible. So I'm gonna ask about a couple. Riff Raff, any era you want, but how do you feel about Riff Raff?
Bro,
you ever mess with them?
Like, I just remember like pure Riff Raff joint is when he had the crazy grill and he's like, I just want to get big and act like I don't know nobody.
And I don't know nobody.
And honestly, like, Riff Raff is a vibe within his own frequency. Like, when he starts doing that, like
I don't put my phone.
Yeah.
I'm the turquoise
Oh, and
Burberry
my
Jack
Pop
Lantern with
trunk.
the
He always says pop trunk on him, dude. That's like his
yeah,
favorite.
or
yeah, he's pop trunk on more people.
when him and what's the one dude who has the podcast that when they hang out they just riff back and forth like I'm
Theo
Theo.
Vaughn.
Those
Oh.
Yeah,
two like off the top like to
hilarious.
come up with the words where it's like I'm the Masoni mullet master.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
I'm the wooden
German
spoon
jack-o'-lantern with the
like
Burberry pattern,
The
dude.
teal tone lobster, dude. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
dude. Crazy
yeah I
stuff.
love
I
it, bro.
found out
Like,
that's a real thing. It is rare. A teal tone lobster. They have teal lobsters.
bro,
It's an
like
actual
that's
thing.
what like I think that he's like for what he's done to have taken it as far as he has and the wordplay wordsmithing that he does
It's so
is
creative, dude.
I could never do
I
it.
mainly
Love
ask
that.
about him too because I think on a much smaller scale, but like, and no disrespect, man, it's Drake and Rip Rap, but like that's a guy that he caught a lot of flack for a long time, and for a lot of the things that they're coming after Drake for, and yes, I can 100% see how someone thought that, but if people have gone back and looked at he's from Houston. He lived in Houston, the same place that other artists had come from.
Yep.
That was who he was. That his friends were like that. Like that, he was just like everyone else around him, and he got hated on for that. That's my little riff raff rant. But okay, another guy I'm curious. Music's a little shallow, but I love it. Bossman D-Lo. How do you feel about D-Lo?
You know what's crazy is like I've never sat and listened to a Bossman D-Lo album, but I have
Yeah, it's
on
not one.
multiple occasions like been like, yo, what song is this? And someone's like Bossman D-Lo, and I'm like, oh, word. And I'll Shazam it, and then I never listen to it again. So like I don't have
It's a good one.
That actually sounds
Yeah, like-
about right, though. That's actually
yeah, like for
you
me,
need to lift some
no
weights.
beat. Yeah. I just like I'm like I can think back on like I think it's been 2 or 3 occasions where I heard a Bossman D-Lo song like out somewhere. I either and I think one time I Shazammed it just off the rando like to see what song it was, and then 2 other times I asked someone, I was like, oh, what are you playing? It's like Bossman D-Lo. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I've never like turned on a Bossman D-Lo song. So now after this, I'm gonna try to see if maybe I can get with
I
it.
saw a thing that I relate to. It's like Bossman Deal just makes you want to stop what you're doing and go get some money. I was like, that's pretty
Every
accurate.
time, dude.
I just want to get some money.
That's what I felt. I felt the hustle. Yeah, I've never queued up a Bossman D-Lo song. I'm gonna do it after this now, 100%.
Awesome.
It's a good one. There's some good internet niche humor too. There's a video of a guy who goes to Lyndon B. Johnson's gravesite and raps popular rap songs at him. It's just pure comedy, dude. He goes to Lyndon B. President Lyndon B. Johnson. In the first one I ever saw was him doing a Bossman D-Lo song. It's one of the wildest like juxtapositions you could ever see, dude. Just Lyndon B. Johnson here and Bossman D-Lo. That's comedy. Okay, this is unfortunate because we were keeping it light there, but I have to ask you this question. And again, this is what I meant when I said if it's just something you don't want to get into or whatever, like feel free, we'll move on. But I just see so many similarities here, and it's not something I've seen too many people talk about. But I think the timing and the topic are personally, I don't feel like it's totally coincidental. But so you look at Michael Jackson, right? I mean, you look at what happened, the 180 that's gone on in my mind with Michael Jackson, being brainwashed as a kid and now knowing what I know about him. Crazy. And, he was fighting the record industry. There was a lot going on there. He did speak out about a certain place in the Middle East and how people were being treated there. And he said some pretty offensive things to certain groups there. Pause. We'll put that to the side there. Prince then went on a battle to not quite the same, but he went on a similar battle and just found dead in his elevator. And I'm not getting at the death angle here, but a lot of people aren't talking about how after October 7th, Drake was one of the first artists and actually one of the first major celebrities to sign an open letter that was calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. And I think it was 3-4 months later, this machine got going. We don't have to go crazy deep into that, but do you think there's something? Do you think that what is it? Why is it that every time these people seem to broach this subject, and do you think that's just? I guess in the Drake case, do you think it's coincidental timing?
Again, it's one of those things where it's like Drake's bar, bro. There's 3 sides to the story, girl. The one you subtweet, the one you track history, the one that you tell to me.
What an answer!
Like, what's crazy is like the Drake hate has always been there, and he recently shared like what happened after Take Care, where it was just like people just hating him.
I didn't know that.
And
I
it
did
was like,
not
I
know people
remember,
did not
bro.
like Take
People were
Care.
like, "Oh, this he's never gonna be as big as he was with Thank Me Later." Like, it's like this history of it. What I can say genuinely is, uh, I don't know what I don't know. Like with for instance with the Middle East thing, like one of the things that I've told people when I've read into just like everything there, it's one of those things where I feel like I can't ever really know the truth of anything. Like there's so much. I remember it was I think it was his name, Eric Weinstein. He had said like
I
maybe
like
you
Eric
should go.
Weinstein.
I think it was one thing he said on the Chris Williamson podcast that stuck with me forever. I remember I was in the gym when he said it. He said there's this movie where there's a man who was like playing a woman, playing a man, playing a woman, and a man playing a woman, playing a man, yeah, playing a woman, and it was like it's so many layers that like if you realize that it's a woman playing a man, you don't realize that like there's another layer to it, and the point is for you to catch the first layer. But then there's like this second layer that like some people never get past to see what actually is the next layer. I actually feel like we're in like a 7-layer dip. Like I think some people are on the first layer, some are on the second layer, some are on the fifth layer. And honestly, like I don't even know what layer I'm on. I feel like some days I see things where am I the only one that just saw this? Like
Right.
I double check. This isn't AI. Okay, like, I see the thing from like the when they released JFK files. I'm like, am I the only one that read this? Like,
Yeah.
like I'll read something. I'll be
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah. Oh, he
we read
forced
this?
their resignation and and then he
And
got
then,
popped.
and I ask, and
Interesting.
people are like, and I'm like, all right, like, okay, so yeah, I feel like we're at like a 7-layer dip. Like Drake has always been hated. Maybe some of it is that people hate that he's a happy person. They hate the team. They hate like I don't know. Is it the signing of the joint? Maybe is it that the stuff going on with UMG and like Lucian's boss? Is it that like? Yo, bro, maybe it's a 9-layer dip. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, could be.
It's like
That answer's so just 20 times better than I could have even
yeah,
hoped for,
bro.
man.
Like
You
I just
started
like,
out with singing Drake, and we're talking about Lucian's boss, dude. That's
bro, I don't know. And
yes,
like
it
that's the
is.
thing.
No,
Like,
you're
it's
right
all
though.
true. Yeah.
I don't know whose quote it was, but and I think it was an old CIA or FBI director. It might have been Hoover, but one of their quotes was like, "When they don't know what to believe, we will have won." And I do think we're close to that. We're not. We're in that. We're in that jungle at least. If we're not
That's the whole
fully.
1984 shit. Like
Yeah.
it's like layers, bro. It's a 7-layer dip, and every time he thought he knew, and even you thought you knew, as you're reading the book, which I would say like you should definitely read that book, bro. It's like you get to the end and you're like, oh, all right, like I guess I'm in a 7-layer dip. Also,
Speaking
Hoover
of-
had a really
oh,
cool
yeah.
dam. I'll give him props for that. Like if
Yeah,
that was his
great
quote
dam.
too, then like great damn, dude. Like honestly,
Hell of a damn, man. Hell of a damn. He kicked those beavers' ass. If in the Beaver Hoover beef,
Yeah, bro.
he kicked ass.
Hoover
Hey,
definitely came out number one.
speaking of books, I don't want to be a Spark Notes guy here, and I believe me, now that we're tapped in and I've got time to go through them, I'm gonna cop the books and I got to go through it. I did try and at least get some themes from it, and there was a term in there. And maybe please tell me that I wasn't totally off base here, but you said the critical industrial complex. Is that a
I
what
think
a
a word I
term?
made up. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think I
I
feel
can tell,
like
but it was like it's so perfect. It's so perfect.
it's like in my mind, like nobody asks why we're critical. Like that was the question I asked. I was like, people would be like, well, I'm being honest. Okay, why are you being honestly critical? Like you could be honestly happy. You could be honestly passionate. You could be honestly anything. Why are we so honestly critical? Like people DM me all the time. I don't ever see a critique of Drake's music. I don't have a critique. Well, that means it's fake. Why is that fake? Like, do you have a critique of Oxygen? Like, what is it that you wish Oxygen was better at? Do you have a critique for water? For your favorite food? Like, what is your critique of tiramisu? Like you don't eat the cake that you love that you've been waiting for all day,
Crazy.
and then your thought is, "Oh man, this is what we missed on." And so that's where
Breaking
I'm at.
down my Trace Leches, yeah.
Yeah, I try to explain to some people. Like some people were like, "How do you know the Drake album's gonna be great?" Bro, how would I know that the next Banksy art is going to be great? Because it's Banksy, dude. We give them benefit of the doubt. If we found a new Mozart joint, we'd be like, hell yeah, because art is it's
Probably
subjective,
banger.
right? Like breakfast burritos at Anita's for me, they smack every time. Like there's food that like I walk in thinking to myself, this is gonna hit different. Like I'm so excited. It's been so long. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. So like when this new Drake album's coming out, people were like, how do you know it's going to be good? It's like, why would I expect anything else? When has Drake ever let me down?
There was no chance with 2 years of hate fueled by just angry Drake. I mean, it was, and it did. He went Super Saiyan in 3 different lanes.
And I'll also say this. There's a book that changed my life called The Holographic Universe. And one of the things it basically said is that, like, we don't live in, like, a linear world. We live in, like, a hologram. It's a hologram. And it's not that seeing is believing. Believing is seeing. So when you're listening to Drake's music, you're listening for how you're going to dislike it. If you're listening as a critic, you are starting at 3 Michelin stars and you're docking as you find what's wrong. You're saying, like, we're here because we're saying that it could get 3 Michelin stars, but we're now looking for the mistakes. Like, I come into things with no expectation, and that's where I always end up asking people, like, Drake let you down compared to what? Compared to the new Rick Ross album? Like, would you like compared to your boy's mixtape in the basement that you want me to listen to right now? That's better than this? Like, is that, you know, like if Drake
crazy.
Like, bro,
Like that, dude.
Yeah, I ask people this all the time. I do this, like, I've said this now a couple times. Imagine your boy comes to you. He's like, yo, I've been in the basement with Fruity Loops, doing my thing. I have my first song. He's never made music, right? Never in his entire life. And you're like, okay, bro, turn it on. He turns it on, and it's For All the Dogs. Virginia Beach comes on.
Whoop that trick comes on. Yeah, no.
You're out the hood, bro. Are you crazy? Like, this is the greatest song we've ever heard. But since it's Drake, you're comparing it to the idea of what Drake was when you were the captain of the football team in high school when Take Care came out. And, like, of course you liked it more then because that was a whole moment of joy. Drake rapping about, like, lean in. You're like, man, I don't even want to lean right now, bro. Like, Drake is trash. I miss Take Care Drake. I miss the thing we live in.
Like, he's rap with Eminem and Kanye West again, okay?
Yeah. Like, we all know how this really went. And that's where I just, like, I keep coming back to the same space. Like, a critique of something is always in comparison of something else. We keep acting like a critique is like a critique living within itself. Like a 3 Michelin star concept lives within a box of what a 3 Michelin star is. With music, I hear people say Drake was lazy on this album. Lazy compared to what?
Exactly.
Lazy compared to this other album. Okay, like lazy compared to what in that album? Like, what was the execution that you have as a lazy to
like? What's your benchmark
execution?
For ranking that? Yeah, exactly.
And there's not a benchmark. The benchmark is like my brain is saying that it was lazy, not that it was actually lazy. That's where I just keep ending up. I just keep ending up in the same place where people can never finish the thought. They think they finished the thought. You know, you ever get that one where someone finishes a thought and they say, nah, I mean, and you're like, no, I don't know what you mean. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Because the problem is they didn't go from point A to point B. They actually just looped you around. They're like, so do you see? And it's like, no, we just walked a loop, man.
Drake is lazy because Drake is lazy. Right.
Yes, exactly. Another thing, and I feel like you have some feelings on prestiging in Call of Duty. And how and again, it's crazy. When I saw this, prepping for this, I went, okay, this is how I know that we're aligned with this guy because once again, just like you did with Drake, with Drake, I gamed a lot. I gamed a lot back in the day, and I actually don't game anymore. It's not, and you know what I don't do? I don't talk about how stupid video games are and what a waste of time. You know what I mean? I don't do that because I don't think that. I loved it. It's just I'm in a different lane right now. But that actually really was, forget the cheaters and Blackout and all that stuff and Warzone and all that. Like that was for me that ended up sucking. But the battle, it all became cheap. It all became completely cheap. And I remember getting dominated in a round, and then I'd see the kill cam, and I would see some guy with a gold spaz, the gold scar, gold camoed out, everything. And I was like, oh, that guy grinds. I just got dunked on by Mike, and that's okay. I should be honored. And you don't get that anymore.
Yeah, I had a moment. So I had a homie who was #1 at Halo for a little bit, like he's nice. Like he was so nice at Halo that when Destiny came out, like, and we used to play Destiny, like he was the guy who could like carry you on Trails of Osiris. Like it was like he was the guy. He was like
headshot in the
Drake
hordes
said-
coming
right,
in.
and Drake says like my guy, like he was
Like
my
you
guy.
have guys,
Like,
but
he
do
was
you
a
have
real
guys
guy,
though?
though.
But do
You
you
have
have
real
guys though?
My
Dude,
brother
you have some
Alex,
dudes out there, but
dude. And so like when he played Halo, it was like watching LeBron play Halo. Like it was just he was so much better than everyone else. And one of the things like he said recently was like, bro, like the kids would kill me today. Like if I played, you know, competitive or whatever, like they'd be better. And I was like, but bro, it was a different concept. Like you were the best within a box that was created, right? Like Halo or Gears or Destiny, like when you were the best at that, like you were genuinely the best. There was no like they nerfed a thing today, they like maximized on another thing. Like it was like you grinded, bro.
Yes.
And there were people who were just like better within the confines of a game. When you like think about speed running a game, like when you speed run an N64 game, it never changes. Whoever ends up being the best at that is truly the best. When they did that one game where it was like you were climbing up the tower or whatever, and they just started moving things around and people kept beating the old time, it was like happening because they were artificially trying to figure out how to help people get better at the game. So like I think about this with video games. Like I remember, when the homie had to get 5,000 headshots with a gun to get a tag or like the
my
goal.
guy's like, why are you using a thermal scope on a pistol or like a submachine gun or something? And I'm like, I need to get the fucking camo, dude. Don't worry about it.
Bro. You're running around no gun punching because you're trying to get like a specific like
With the Elmer Fudd build.
100%, bro. So like there was this concept of video games when the game was the full game to try to figure out how to beat the full game. So like it was like same thing with Pokemon. It was like if you had a level 99 Alakazam, that meant that you had a homie who had the cord that could trade because you couldn't get past Kadabra unless you did the trade. You know what I'm saying? So
Some childhood wounds for me there. I never
you had to trust the homie that he would trade it back to. Like that's a real friend. That's probably someone you're friends with to this day. Because like you had to know that you would trade this because you had to get it to a certain level because once you got to Alakazam, it would never go back. That was like there was a certain level that was built into the game. Not saying that it's a negative or a positive where we are now. I think it's a different concept. But what I was describing was like a game that cannot be updated is given to you in a way that it's like, how hard are you willing to work to show that you've gotten this thing? You know, and like for instance with Black Ops, that was like prestiging. You know, you go level 99, start over, level 99, start over. Then you get to 10 prestige. That means you ground, bro. If you have a diamond AUG, like you did every single thing to get gold.
You started from the bottom up to like 10 times.
100%, bro.
Literally.
Like you started over to no attachments. You did, 1,000 headshots. So like, and that's just how I also think about that's also why Drake has a special place in my heart. Like I've listened to Drake more than anything else my whole life. When I first discovered the music after being in the back of the Applebee's after a huge loss to Boo Williams, I went and I found the websites. Like I was like all in. I enjoyed it, and choosing to stay with it for this long means that when I listen to the music today, when he does callbacks, it's amazing. I did the same. What's super crazy is I did the same thing when the J. Cole album was coming out. No one was as mad as they are about Drake. I literally did I remember where I was with J. Cole with the Green Lantern freestyle that he did, and that's when I heard Simba for the first. I was doing all this stuff nobody had anything to say when it was J. Cole, and I was talking about how much I loved J. Cole. But now it's Drake, and it's like you're an idiot, and I'm just like, bro, love
Glazer.
Yeah,
Call him baby because he'd be glazing, man.
Stream is like 2 blocks up the street. My bad. Like I love it when the hot light is on. It is what it is. If you want to call it glazing, you call it. You know what? This is my favorite thing to say to people when it comes to that. Appreciation and appropriation are within the eyes of the beholder. Like I can't convince you that I'm appropriating something or appreciating something. You believe that about me. Right? Like you believe I'm a cosplayer or an actor. I can't convince you of that. I can tell you that I'm an actor and you can say I'm a cosplayer and there's nothing I can do to convince you. So it's the same way I feel about glazing. Like
what a bar.
Glazing and flowers are the same concept. It's just looked at from 2 different perspectives. You think I can't love Drake this much or his music this much. I do, bro. I love it.
Dude, it's crazy because you never know what's staged or not, but there's videos like that where the guy, it's like a guy who looks like me dresses up in a mariachi outfit or puts on a poncho and a sombrero with macarenas and walks around like a college campus, and everyone's like, no, it's offensive, you're appropriating. And then he goes and talks to actual Mexican people, and they're like, no, pretty cool, you look good. Like they're like, yeah, this is
Actually happened
cool.
at my school. It was actually like me and one of my homies had a fallout because of this. Like they did it in my school. They did like it on Cinco de Mayo, and he was like, "Man, like these people are racist." And I was like, "I really don't think they thought like that. Like I don't think the thought was like,
No.
I don't like Latinos, so we're gonna dress up like Latinos like that." I think the thought was just like it's Cinco de Mayo, and we're gonna get drunk. Like
Think of it like your mom getting excited about your big career in tech. It's like, yeah, oh my, he works with the iPhones in the Meta or something. You know, it's like, and yeah, it's so silly. And if she was claiming to, if she was trying to be Joe Budden and like have a podcast about that topic, like, okay, she wouldn't have any. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I don't. I understand why people in part don't like what they see from Drake because it feels like I also feel like a lot of people don't feel like they can be themselves. So if Drake is all of these things, and like from everything I've seen, that's what Toronto is. It's the islands. It's black culture. It's a little bit of everything. Like that's how I feel. Like that's one of the things I say in my book. I'm like the universal local. I don't feel like I fit in anywhere. So when I go to places, if I'm in LA, if I'm in Toronto, if I'm in New York, I start to like I don't have an accent that fits any one space. Like I'm not like Nipsey Hussle or what's the dude who did Sinners?
Michael B. or Ryan Coogler.
No. Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler is Oakland in every room.
Yes.
Like there is
100%.
no like Ryan Coogler
He
pretending
sounds
to be
like,
something.
I mean, just his
Marshawn Lynch
voice.
is another example.
Marshawn
Marshawn Lynch the same
is
way.
Oakland. Nipsey Hussle was Crenshaw. Like, and I think it's something really cool. Like 50 is New York. Like there's something to that idea of being so engrossed in a culture that is so isolated that there isn't anything like it. And then there's something about being a person who feels connected to all the cultures. But I feel like if you're isolated to a culture, like let's say Kendrick, you feel like someone who takes part in multiple cultures is being disingenuous.
Yes.
Because it feels disingenuous. Because you can't imagine feeling like you would love other cultures as much as you love your one. Which is like, I mean, it's a limiting belief, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm cool with it. I'm gonna be all of it. That's cool. I'm one of those guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm a guy's guy.
Guys, dude, would you have guys though? All right, I got some. I don't know if I would say rapid fire questions because you might have time to think about it, but I want to shoot these to both you guys. You guys ready for them?
Born ready, bro. Talk to me.
All right, give me your guys's, in your opinion, Drake's most underrated album project.
Underrated?
Would you? Yeah. Do you? I feel like I have one, and I guess my underrated terms is like maybe it's a project of his that's not talked about enough that I think is good. I'll just throw mine out there. Dark Lane demo tapes. I would argue Dark Lane demo tapes because one, it was kind of during the COVID phase when music was kind of being launched at a weird time, but then two, like he's got notable tracks with Chris Brown, the D4L track with Future and Young Thug, Chicago Freestyle. What else was on there? The Tootsie Slide. That I would categorize that. You guys feel like Drake has an underrated project? Anything specific?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think Thank Me Later is underrated. I don't think it's talked about enough as a cohesive album.
His first
it's like
one.
the least. And Drake, I think he even said this. Like he was kind of working within this. Like I have a budget, and like we're building this album, and like had some more cooks in the kitchen than he did.
Yes.
Like for instance, with So Far Gone when he was locked in the hotel with 40, and they like created this sound.
Yeah.
Like Thank Me Later, I was surprised by. I remember being in the back of a McDonald's where I was working, listening to it, and I was like, I love it, but it's like it's not the Drake that I've been enjoying for the last like year.
Yes.
And I think like a lot of people overlooked it, but when you go back and you think about that Jeezy joint, Unforgettable,
The one with T.I.?
The one with T.I., the one with Fireworks, like it's the
yeah.
least Drake album in my mind, and I don't think it gets enough love for still being a very cohesive album. That's my thought.
Jared, what you got? You got one?
Dude, I got to be honest. I could do this for so many artists. It's really tough for me with Drake. I'm trying to think because I don't feel like I've never. Yeah, what do people like? I feel like the people I hang out with at least appreciate most of it. I mean, finding out that Take Care is like just got panned the way it did. I'll say this, I guess, because underrated for me is like, I feel like they don't get love. Obviously, Drake does get love. He's got numbers and stuff. But for me, I didn't find similar to Take Care. I didn't realize people hated on What a Time to Be Alive. The critics and stuff, they said that Future and him didn't fit together. And I think honestly,
Crazy.
I had really liked Drake a lot. He was one of my favorite artists. I'll be honest, there was a period where, funny enough, ASAP Rocky, when he was coming up, I was just obsessed. And there were periods there, and then I remember just the idea that Future and Drake dropped an entire album together. I was just like, that's incredible. And I feel like everyone, Jumpman's out there, but that is kind of, I won't say unskippable, but it's
close.
pretty damn close to unskippable for me. Like, What a Time to Be Alive from start to finish is incredible, and it's got depth to it that I don't think it gets credit for. So I'll say that.
Love it.
I'm with you on that. Wow, these are 3 great answers. Top tier. Drake, if you hear this, it's not too late. You can come on the pod.
All right. Let's just do a couple more, and then we could. I got a strong ender for us, but this one might take some time to think about. I got one off the top of my head.
Okay.
Drake's most toxic song.
Most toxic?
Yes.
Oh man, that's easy.
Go ahead.
It's definitely got to be. Oh man, I'm about to say the wrong
Cups
name.
of the
It's-
rose.
No.
Bitches in my
Hate sleeping alone.
Okay. Hate Sleeping Alone's good.
Hate Sleeping Alone is like, bro, also, Hate Sleeping Alone came out in college, and I'll be honest with you, bro, like, me and my boy, we still talk about it to this day. Because the way he comes out the gate, and it's just like, she says, kiss me like you miss me.
Yeah,
fuck
fuck me like you hate me.
And if you fuck someone else, just go like she ain't me, damn.
See,
where's this
I felt like what that
Yeah,
you
no,
think
that was toxic
you
for
fu-"
sure.
To me, I'm just like, that one,
But that one, like, I think the reason that Hate Sleeping Alone is so toxic is like,
I'll be honest, like one of the things I say that I think people overlook is like, if you've ever been cursed with infinite perpetual motion, like there were times like what Drake is describing is an infinite perpetual motion problem.
dude,
right?
yeah,
Like,
I
it's a
think that's
problem.
why. Real quick, dude, we love that. That's why we're laughing right now, because I think that's why people hate him, dude. That's
Right,
I'm
100%.
going to answer my own question earlier. It's the infinite perpetual motion.
The motion like the oyster on my wrist is perpetual. Okay, come on.
Perpetual, bro. Like, and I say infinite perpetual because
That
it's
was
a
awesome.
double infinite. Like, if you've ever had infinite perpetual motion, you know that you like. I've had situations where like you try to describe an interaction that you had with a woman that someone else goes, she wouldn't say that or something like that. That happened a few times to me, like with people where they were like, she would never do that. She would never say that. Like that song of Hate Sleeping Alone is Drake literally saying that a woman who wants to be with him is basically saying like, I know you're going to be outside in the streets.
Right.
And when you're outside in the streets, I want you to do it like this.
Damn.
And if you were listening to that as someone who's had no motion, for instance, you'd be like, what did he do to that woman to make her say that? And you're like, and again, like I think Drake says things sometimes that really, I hear guys who like are very angry at the fact that he said it, and I'm like, it takes 2 to tango, right?
Yeah,
Like
facts.
for all these different things. Like when Drake talks about tapping someone's wife or tapping someone's girlfriend, it takes 2 to tango, right? Like
Yes.
Drake can't do that on his own. So again, it's an infinite perpetual motion thing for me. That's why
Love that.
Hate Sleeping Alone is like is a toxic track for Western culture. Not for me, I get it, but
Yeah.
like it's for those at home. If you listen to it, it is what it is. Like
Good answer.
yeah.
good answer.
What about you guys?
So yeah, after hearing that, the defense rests. Next question.
Okay.
I'm not topping. I got nothing. I couldn't even. You could ask me about drink pairings with Drake songs, and I could maybe get close there. I'm not touching that. I don't even. No,
Okay.
that was a work of art.
Um,
Can I ask one? I hope it's
dude,
not
yeah,
one of
no,
yours.
go ahead, fire it
Yeah,
up.
Because I have a topic, and I feel like with some people, I don't know, who knows. I don't know what layer this would be controversial at because it was such a mainstream song. So that's a hint towards mine. But Drake's best feature.
Drake's best feature?
That he's featured on, or
That he's
that-
featured on,
sorry,
or like-
Okay.
he's a feature. He is Drake as a feature verse. Who best? Where do you just think he just went?
I think
got
like the one that hit me the hardest for no reason was that 901 Shelby Drive, look alive.
Live,
Look
look
alive,
alive,
yo,
look
yo.
alive.
Oh, that was Block Boy JB. Block Boy JB. That was before I remember he went on a run too. Block Boy JB's one of the rare ones that didn't really catch a wave after. And then what was the next thing we heard was like, yes, indeed, and he did the little baby
Yeah,
stuff,
he did it again. But
and
that I
Gunna
just
and Lil
remember
Baby
the
are
float, the way he floated on that joint. Like, I just remember that beat coming on. I remember like the first time I heard it, and it was like, take Keith, I think is that was
Yes.
that a take Keith? Yeah, and then
It was
it was
Take It.
just like, and then he just came in, and I remember. I remember that every summer Drake has a new dance that he does, but that one specifically when he was cooking the joint and they were doing the like,
I know you
like
came with the slide from left to right.
Yes.
that
that
was
whole
on.
summer was crazy. But that song
It's
specifically,
crazy.
the way he floated, really
Wow.
like it was something for me. Is that his greatest feature ever? Probably not, but like that one immediately comes to mind every time when I think about just like Drake being on a feature and just being like, what was that? Like,
Just going crazy.
who
For
is he?
me, it's got to be Sicko Mode. I think the first time,
Ziggo?
I think the first time Sicko Mode came out, and then there's a video I remember where Travis Scott looked like he was in his kitchen, and
I know
he was,
exactly.
you know what I'm talking about, and he was playing
When
the
he
videos
heard it-
for
when
his
the- when he
friends.
heard the switch
Yes, dude, and I remember him and his buddies were just popping. I was like, I think that might be, in my opinion,
Bro,
one of Drake's-
that's how you know Drake has infinite perpetual motion. You send him a beat, he sends you a beat back, he beat flipped it, and it's more than what you expected.
Yes.
Like, could you like think about your job? Like, you send somebody a spreadsheet and they sent you back a PowerPoint, and you were like, "This is exactly what I needed."
Yeah, you're asking a question for one bullet point on one slide, and the person's like, "Actually, here's your entire deck." You
You're stepping into a project. You step into a project. They're like, we need a 15-page paper, and you turn in a 40-minute video, and they're like,
That's
this is
crazy.
exactly what we.
And he's like, "Actually, my fees waived. We're gonna just split the profits. Have a good one. See you later. On to the next one."
Like, what? He pulled up with an SUV after we asked for the Lambo, and that's exactly what we needed. It was a Ferrari truck. Oh my god!
Hey, Dom. Remember we got a full rundown of
Yes.
what it's like when Drake comes in the studio. Did we have someone on the pod that worked in the studio when Drake came in? And let me tell you, the
It
trucks
was a
are real.
process. Yeah.
There's agents of the Drizzy agency or of the embassy there an hour or 2 hours beforehand. Just come in, verify
Scoping
that
the
it's a real
scene.
spot.
Yeah.
Who's going to be here when in the next hour or two? Like, is it going to be you guys? Okay, cool. Check the exits. I mean, it's the whole deal, dude.
Yeah.
He really does.
Forgot about
move
that,
like
Jared. I forgot about that.
Okay, and then all right, so mine. I'm gonna have a long-winded answer here, so I'll try and do it quick. But so I'm gonna go first. I personally think his best, just where he was a feature, is Churchill Downs. It's just one of the
Dude, yes.
coldest.
It's crazy because his verse is so good. I forgot that he's featured on
You
it.
forget that
You know
it's
what I mean?
Harlow's song.
Yeah,
And
yes.
that the crazy thing is, and again, no disrespect, I like Jack Harlow too. But I think that the verse that ended up on there, I think that was his second attempt too. He was like, yeah, I heard what Drake said and I had to go harder. And the boy still did his thing, but he was doing him a favor and it was huge for him. But I just think that was I think that is a flawless verse
great
by
one.
him there. Instance where I think Drake carried the song the most, that Smiley one, the level is just too advanced, the bezel is
Yes,
Tiffany
Tiffany
stamp.
stamps. Yes.
That definitely the biggest carry. And then the one closest to my heart is the Versace. I know it word for word. I
Yeah.
could do it drunk. I could do a blackout drunk, starved of oxygen and dehydrated and still do it.
You drink
I
gin?
love that. I do occasionally.
Wow, man. You and Wiz Khalifa, bro. Shout out
Yeah,
to y'all.
Wiz Khalifa loves
Okay. Yeah. I'm not drinking the whole bottle of Bombay like I've seen in some of those day-to-days, dude. When they were at South by Southwest, those guys are getting wild.
Man.
Good shit. What else you got, Dom? Sorry, I just had to go.
No, dude, I loved it. No, dude, that was great. All right, I think look, Django, we appreciate you, man. You've been great, man. You've given us more gems. I mean, listen, we knew we were going to get gems from you, but I think you gave us more than we wanted, so we appreciate it. But I got a strong closer question, and feel free to all of us to answer this. But in regards to the boy, when it's all said and done, what do you think Drake's real legacy will be? The music, the influence, the numbers, or the way that he kind of changed what it's like to be a star? What do you think his legacy is going to end like? What do you think people are going to most reflect on, I guess, from the boys?
I think that people are going to forget how hard it was to be accepted to making other types of music. Like, I think one of the things people overlook is that like once it's done once, suddenly everyone feels comfortable to do it. I think a lot of people, like, I've gone back, I've listened to like Chaos and like different artists from Toronto,
Smiley,
and like even Kanye kind of started to push that envelope of like, hey, hip hop can be like something different. But like, I feel like Drake was, because he was so big, and then he decided to do stuff with UK, stuff with Bad Bunny, stuff with EDM and like doing Black Coffee, that now you're seeing this like renaissance of artists making music and it being more accepted. Like, I remember when Denzel Curry did the like Rage Against the Machines. I thought it was super dope, but like a lot of people thought it was corny because like,
No, that was sick.
because they were like, because I think like it was hard to believe that a rapper could be all those things. But I think when like the biggest rapper decides, hey, I'm gonna do fashion, like that, like Kanye was like, I'm gonna fight to do fashion. Well, now it makes more sense that Travis Scott does things the way he does.
What does Gaga know about pictures?
Right. Well, yeah, like for rappers to become these like creative directors, where like ASAP is where he is, or like the other people are there because of Kanye. I think the same thing is we're gonna see hip hop over the next, I think, decade lose the core of like this concept of it having to be a certain sound, and I think it's going to meld into more, like it's going to be bigger, into more things because of what Drake did. Because it's one thing to do it as like the person who, like, as a person who does it, like again, no disrespect, like Denzel Curry doing Rage Against the Machines, it didn't move the needle of the culture to say, oh, everyone can do rock.
Right.
But like Drake having that song Princess, Drake having
Jared called that out real quick. I remember Jared was like, "Yo, you need to go back and listen to Princess," and I was like,
"You got it."
It was almost experimental, dude.
I was like, "That's what MGK's been trying to do for years, dude." Now, and Drake was just like, "Here you go. Here it is. This is how it's done."
There's a weight to being like the biggest and doing a thing. Like Jordan did a thing with shoes that like didn't exist. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird had sneakers at Converse, and they weren't their
Didn't
shoes.
hit the same.
Right? Like Jordan was the first to do the sneaker the way he did, and now it's partially why we don't think anything of like the signature shoe, because it was like he broke a barrier. I think Drake, being as big as he is, and right now I don't think they're going to give him his flowers for it, but like I do think, and again, you can always point to someone else who maybe did EDM or did country or whatever. Like again, I'm not taking away from like Chaos and other artists who, especially like from Toronto, that did this before. But there's something to holding a crown, being a person who will have 1, 2, 3 of the top albums, but on those albums have a country intro on one of the songs, have a rock ending, have a EDM kind of vibe, having like what's his name, like just having the people on there that just like that I like it. Similar to when Ye said like, who invented sidewalks or light posts? He's like, I want to create things that like no one will remember that I made it, but it's ubiquitous, is like how I feel about what hip hop will be. Like I think is in a better place to allow more flexibility for the person who wants to create. Where like before it was very, like before Kanye was super rigid. Yeah. I think Kanye opened the door, being the biggest, and then doing like soul beats, and then doing 808s, and then doing My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy with a rock solo, and then
beautiful,
and then I think that is it. It'll people won't say it was because of Drake, but I do feel like it'll be like BDAD,
Yes, before Drake, after Drake. Yeah, that's hard, dude. He would appreciate that. Goddamn, I know if I heard someone say it about me. Shit,
yeah, Brian. Like, just think about that. Like, think about what like hip hop. Like, think about what hip hop was like when Drake was trying to break in. Like, people say, "Oh, he was an actor who then became a rapper." Like, no one took him serious when he was trying to switch. It's the same way that no one took Kanye serious when he decided to switch from being a beat maker to an artist. Like, they were like, "You can't do both." And I think the same thing. Like, I think it's stupid that people try to make it seem like him switching from acting to rapping was somehow helpful in the process. Like maybe it was helpful of people recognizing him, but it didn't help him get into the industry. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. People will say BD, AD, and it is what it is, because we went from double albums to triple albums that have 5-minute songs on it. So like, you know, I don't know that anyone's ever going to do it like that again. But at least he opened the door for it. So yeah,
man.
And that live say it better than that.
Dude, that was incredible.
Like, forget even the music. He did a full production, bro. Those first 3 live streams, people were like, "Oh, what's he doing? He's not even like that." Was a movie. That was like 6 hours.
It was
exactly what they were.
It was incredible. And then it was a movie because it only really made sense in its totality. Boom. Episode 4, you see it all, and then you see all the work, and it was just like,
bro. This same thing
even
happened
down,
with Mandalorian.
sorry, I saw really okay. Sorry, I know we were gonna end it there, but I'll start.
No, keep going.
Last quick one I saw, dude. I even just I'm trying to remember I forget which video it is off the top of my head, but it's the one where they got the Pinocchio masks on.
Yes,
dude. Stuff that I just couldn't. I wish I was this detailed, and I think I break it down frame by frame. We're talking about, dude. I don't think it was you, Django, but
Yeah.
tell me if it was. But dude, so there's like a freeze frame where the Pinocchio mask. It's Bud Light. You can tell it. You don't see the logo, but you know it's a Bud Light on the table. Obviously intentional. Bud Light was the official beer sponsor of that Super Bowl 24. So there's a shot there. And then there's the Virginia is for lovers hat on the Pinocchio mask there. I forget, but it's just all this stuff is like, it's a world-class director would be blown away by the level of details there. I mean, it's like multimedia art drop, basically. There were some albums you can listen to them on Spotify.
It was all done in-house. Like that entire thing was recorded by people who were signed to OVO, like to the OVO label that does like visual cues. So incredible, bro.
Wow.
Well, I think we're coming to an end, right? Is that what we decided?
I mean, yeah. What else you want to share this? We like to. I mean, listen. You're a multifaceted guy. I think we learned that you're more multifaceted than we even thought about, bro. And we appreciate that about you. But what do you got coming up? What can we expect? And what can we see more from you?
Bro, I've been so like here's my thing. I hate when people talk about things they don't do. So I've been recording some music with some folks, just showing them that like I do have a deep appreciation for the art form. I have my third book coming out in August called They Lie to You, Western Culture's Beautiful Lie and the Cost of Believing It. It ties a lot to hip hop culture. So in that book, it talks about like the Drake versus Kendrick beef, the stuff that happened with Justin Bieber, JJK. It's got anime in it. It's got like just some incredible stuff. My hope is to like show the underlying problems that I see in Western culture, but through the art of a through line in Western storytelling. So like that was sort of what I wrote the book for. So it comes out in August. And then I'm going to be doing a lot of interviews. Like I don't know which of these are going to land, but I just finished the one with James Savage.
Yep,
I'm going to keep posting. I just rolled out my music magazine, Cold FM, and we're going to roll out a Spotify playlist. So we're bringing back the whole like hot new hip hop days where like you would go to the website. And
Jared, we talked about that.
Yeah, bro.
Hot new hip hop was shout out to my buddy Omid. My buddy Omid put me on.
Breaking. I'm gonna do a post about it later, but basically the way that it's gonna work is every single day I'm gonna add a new song or album to the playlist. But I'm only adding stuff that I can actually give a real review to. So like on Friday, I'm not gonna add 6 new albums and songs. It will be like, for instance, today I listened to the new MGK Wiz, and so I'm gonna talk about, hey, this is a new MGK Wiz album. If you like the blog era music, you're gonna love this. This is why I loved it. This is why I'm listening to it. It gets added to the playlist. Then the next day it might be a single, but every day I'm gonna add a new song, a new album. I'm gonna do a post on it on Instagram and TikTok, and then I'm gonna add it to the Spotify playlist so that it keeps growing, so that people can hear everything. You know, like I just want to bring back an appreciation for music. Like someone likes it. Otherwise, like it would have 0 monthly listeners. But that's never the case. You know, whether it's Juice WRLD, Ray, Lil Peep, every one of those artists had someone that liked it. If you don't like it, you don't have to talk about it, you know?
Man. And also, too, one thing I forgot to mention in the intro, I don't know about you, Django, but Jared and I are waiting for our OVO chains in the mail.
For you guys?
Drake, at some point, I'll send you my address if you don't have it, but I feel like I need mine. So.
I feel that. I don't. Here's my thing. I don't know that I'll ever get an OVO chain because I don't like. I think I'm too.
Is that too much of a glaze? Are you considered?
No. I think it's like. Look. In order to get Drake paid very close attention to the past. Like with the Rockefeller chains and a lot of other chains, like people didn't patent everything, and he's patented like almost every owl variation that could look like what he has. So to get that is like getting a holographic Pokemon card 1 of 1. So I understand why you want that, but for
It
me,
was
like,
cool watching Act get his, dude. That
It
was
was.
cool.
yeah,
I saw that
100%. And
today.
Ack has been
same.
10 toes down for Drizzy from the beginning, and I also think Drake kind of sees some of what happened to him in Ack, because Ack got turned down by traditional radio. They said like no, and you know he made a lane for himself, albeit a little wild, but like it's a lane nonetheless. I used to watch the Chirac Savage's YouTube joint he used to do back in the day when he like
Wow.
highlighted Dirk and like everybody back in the day. I remember that. Like he made his own lane from the Tales of Chirac. I can't remember what he called that YouTube channel, but that
Damn,
was
Django,
I
you're a
would do
true
that.
like aficionado, man. It
Oh,
just,
bro,
like the
yeah, a
level.
connoisseur. A
Jared, I thought you and
connoisseur.
I thought Jared and I
No,
were on
no,
levels.
this is why,
This is different, dude.
This was the moment when I started seeing Django, when I started seeing your content, dude. I was like, I thought I knew ball. I thought I knew ball.
Bro, I
There was S tier ball. I thought I didn't know about the S tier ball.
the thing that's funny though is like there's so much music that there are blind spots. Like when Larry June's latest album came out, people were like, "You got to listen to this," and I had never listened to Larry June, so I didn't do a post about Larry June for another like 3 months because I went back to listen because I don't want to listen to your newest stuff because it ruins
That
the older
project
stuff.
was incredible.
Yeah. So like for Drake, like if you listen to Drake's music now, if you go back and you listen to like Comeback Season, it's not gonna hit the same way it did for me because I watched it. It's about a progression. Comeback
Yes.
Season is
Yeah.
not as good as today,
Yes.
but Comeback Season is if you listen to it first, you go, wow, I see what he had coming, and like now I understand like why there's a through line of like growth. Same thing for like Big Sean and Finally Famous tapes.
Yeah.
You know, Chris Brown when he did a fan of a fan joints. Like, look, it is what it is. But like, I think like that's what you like. There's just not enough appreciation. Like everyone's just trying to hear the hits. I'm like, bro, show me why we're here with this artist. And I went back way back with Larry June to the earliest tape I could find, and I mean, I'll be honest, Larry June has a lot of content. That's why it took me 3 months. Like that was nuts.
Yeah,
how
he's been
much
out for a
music
minute.
I had to listen to, but it is what it is. I do have to run myself. I just want to say honestly, thank you guys so much for having me. Like, I'm grateful for you and for everybody out there that I feel like is trying to create these positive spaces. Like, it feels good to be in a space where we can like laugh and talk about the things we enjoy, and also laugh at the fact that people just want to hate. It's like, man, what a tough time. Like to have your cortisol that spiked all the time. You know, to those non-believers, those underachievers. Like,
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Tweet and
man.
deleters.
Like,
Tweet
deleters. Like,
non-believers.
the Ebro who had to do a Drake day after
Oh
calling him
my
a cancer.
God.
Like, could you imagine, bro? Could you imagine someone who you viewed as a cancer having to have a day after them, and it wasn't even a marathon? You know, like it's nuts. Like I could never. You know, could you imagine like how tough that must be? Like to have to live with that. You know, it's like I feel for you, bro. Like at least I got to love it the whole time, and you know, like
Yes.
we got to enjoy it from beginning to end. 2 years of just listening to people and being like, I know something's coming. You guys are
Correct.
acting like it's over.
They
the
killed
game's
me,
just
Jared.
seven.
They killed me.
Dude, it's like that clip of the bowler, man. I'm telling you. He goes, you know what? Whether you hated me or you loved me,
You watched.
you watched. It's the only thing you could do.
Oh yeah.
Kanye said it too. Whether
What Kanye?
he said it would hate. He said something about like they had to listen or something. I can't remember what
Yep.
it was. One of the Kanye lines. Kanye got endless lines though, like that. So, but
Bars.
bars, bro, all up and down. Thank you guys so much again. It was like
Oh,
this
thank
is a
you, man.
magical time. I'm really
Django, hey,
appreciative
we're
of you
locked
guys.
in, bro. We're excited for everything you got coming. We'll keep you posted
bro.
on the drop date, but thank you for your time, bro. We appreciate you.
Yo, I promise you, whatever edit you have done, I'll be happy with.
Okay. Okay. We'll keep you posted, bro. We'll keep you posted, Django.
Look, man, we always say what we mean and mean what we say. Go ahead and post a thing any day.
100%.
Got you, my
100%,
dog.
dude. Man,
All right,
we
man.
appreciate you, dude. It was an honor.
It's an honor, man.
Thank
Love
you,
you
bro.
guys. Have a good one.